A deadly shooting in York leaves a man in the hospital and another one, he didn't survive. Let's bring in Maxine Rose for this edition of 21 Next. I'm Jasmine Brooks. All right, Maxine, I know that you were on this breaking news last night, a deadly shooting. We know 2 people were hit and one ultimately died. What made you go back to that area in York City tonight, and what did you find?
Well, Jasmine, we could see last night that multiple people in the community were really shaken up by what happened. As I mentioned last night, people were taking a look outside of their doors, of their windows. This is a really close community, it seemed like. So we wanted to go back to check in on them is really what this was about. How are they reacting to yet another deadly shooting in the city? And Jasmine, this is the 3rd homicide in New York City. And just 4 months into 2025, last year, by the end of the year, there were 5. So we wanted to go back, just speak with them, get an idea what's going on, and really talk about kind of where they go from here.
All right, so we know a 24-year-old man has died. How about the other young man that was also shot?
That has not been confirmed at this point. We spoke with a media person with the York City Police earlier today. He said the last thing he heard is that the 17-year-old boy is stable, but again, there has been no recent update, as of 9:40 here tonight.
Okay, but just to confirm, a 17-year-old was shot.
Yes, certainly. Yep. But
Okay, and I
and
know
was in
that
the
you reached
hospital.
out to the coroner multiple times to find the identity of the 24-year-old who passed away, but that just is not being released right now. Is that right?
Yes, they are not releasing that right now until, next of kin is notified, the family's notified, and whatever else. And as soon as those details are ready to be released, they say they will release them. In the meantime, Jasmine, we got a chance to really talk with people in the neighborhood about what they heard, what they saw. No one really said they knew, you know, directly the people that could have been involved. They told me, they may have heard it was this person or that person, but police again won't confirm any of that. We also did notice there were a lot more, police officers, and there was the night watch, which you may have heard of. I think we've reported about that before. That's kind of their new thing in York City, is putting up those night watch, security towers around York City. And when we got there today, you couldn't miss it. They definitely put that right around where you're looking right now, where all that crime tape was. And just seeing these police officers walk around and try and speak with neighbors, essentially to try and reassure them.
Okay. Well, Maxine Rose, we look forward to your report at 10 o'clock. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to one of the biggest stories in the news, not just tonight, but yesterday as well when it broke. We're talking about Dauphin County Commissioner George Hartwick. It all started when he went to the commissioners' meeting yesterday, and he walked in 10 minutes late, apparently for good reason. He was at an event. But when asked by another commissioner, Justin Douglas, a little bit about the event that he was at, it wasn't really adding up for some who saw his demeanor, his behavior, his conduct. A lot of people that we spoke to are very familiar with George Hartwick. He's a public figure in Dauphin County and around central Pennsylvania, a great speaker, as many have pointed out, quick on his feet, knows how to talk to crowds, and that just wasn't the case yesterday. And there were other things adding up that didn't add up, I guess you could say. So we've learned today that Hartwick was stripped of his responsibilities overseeing county departments. It all stems again from yesterday. So he did say he was late because he was in attendance of a meeting, or an event, I should say, for Child Abuse Prevention Month. But unfortunately, a statement from the PA Family Support Alliance confirmed that he was not there. So we also learned through Penn Live that Commissioner Hartwick was involved in a car accident in the parking garage right before he walked into that meeting, roughly 10 minutes late. Obviously, there's a lot of questions here, but we have to report on the facts and what we know. And what we know is he has been stripped of his responsibilities overseeing county departments as of today. We're going to keep an eye on that. We'd love to talk to Commissioner Hartwick and get his, his perspective on all of this. And we did reach out to him, but had no luck there. So we're always open to hearing all sides of the story and seeing what else we can learn. And we'll do our best to do that for you at home. Another story, a fire. We report on fires all the time. This one is unique because firefighters lived in the home which it started. In fact, a lot of firefighters did. There it is. You can see that York County home, and they lost everything. So several volunteer firefighters lived there, and investigators say they were from the Jefferson Fire Company, the Porter's Sidelink Fire Company, the Nashville Volunteer Fire Company. So a bunch of firemen lived right inside that home. And because of the loss of all of their things, a donation has been made available. You can make a donation. And the Jefferson Fire Company has a list of items that they really need for these people. And so that's on their Facebook page. Of course, we have a link for you as well at cbs21.com. Let's end on a lighter note, because if you are a fisherman or woman, it's a weekend that you're going to love. Although the forecast might not cooperate as best as we would hope, there it is, your little piece of heaven. Trout season opening. Yeah, it's a big deal for a lot of people. The Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission stocked approximately 3.2 million adult trout in 691 streams and 130 lakes across Pennsylvania. But you can only keep up to 5 trout a day. Just remember that. And they have to measure at least 7 inches long. If you get anything smaller than 7 inches, you got to throw it on back. Make sure you have your license as well. But yeah, a big weekend. So hopefully that weather will cooperate with you. Tom tells us that we are expecting a little bit of rain over the weekend. So we'll keep an eye on that. There he is. Fill us in. Let's just ask you about trout season,
right,
and what that is going to look like,
Well, I'm not a big fisherman or fisher person, as you were saying. But the fish are already wet. Remember, I told you that. So
right.
They don't mind a little bit of rain. Actually, your husband fishes more than I do. Does he mind the rain? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's not good for the rain. I think what happens is it fills up those creeks and streams with more water than needed. It gets dirty and fast-paced, and
yeah, it's not as much fun.
Not around.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are the negative sides of it. So hopefully folks there will be breaks in the rain. So what I've been trying to convey this week, Jasmine, as you know, is that, we are going to see showers, but not all the time. So today was a perfect example. We had showers early in the day. Then we had a break. And I think same thing tonight. Rain showers overnight, some thunderstorms too, might wake you up at night. But most of the day ends up being dry tomorrow. And then you get another wave tomorrow night into Saturday. So it's just kind of on and off. It's pretty dreary, though, as you see here through the weekend. And then next week, it gets very, very cold Tuesday. We don't get out of the 40s.
Well, the temperatures don't matter when you're fishing because the beer is always cold.
Okay, good point. All
right. Tom Russell, thanks so much. And thank you guys for joining us on 21 Next. You can catch us here every single evening. So please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. Follow us on Facebook as well as YouTube. We'd love to see you here. Fill you in on what's going on around central Pennsylvania and beyond, plus your weather update all the time. I'm Jasmine Brooks. This is 21 Next. Thanks for watching. Good night.